Hello everyone, Mark Major here, back in the saddle again, as they say in the land of Aerosmith, and also that guy Roy Rogers. I think they all said it. I think they all owned horses or something. Here I am at the Action Figuratorium, that is a little studio behind me, and as many of you know, I like to go to the dollar store. I like to look for the toys they have there. In the past, I found some 4-inch action figures. I've also found some 1/6 scale furniture there, like a little barbecue and like a couch, and I think there was a toilet. And you can always do something creative with a toilet, right? I also like to find crafts, arts, things that can be used for kit bashing or making dioramas or just anything cool to go with action figures. And so this is going to be another episode where I just go through sort of the weekly scores from the dollar store, and I think that you guys are going to dig this one, so stick around. Okay, behind me you can see that there is a ladder, and that's because I was rehanging the helicopter up on the ceiling. And I think that most people would say that that's a good thing. So let's go over to the bench. We're going to go through the finds at my dollar store. They're actually more than $1 these days. It's $1.25, but still, it's it's next to nothing. All right, over on the bench. Hello, people. Hello, hands across America. So the first thing that we have found. And let me tell you guys, this is going to be one of the best things you can pick up. It is this poster tack. This stuff is absolutely necessary for posing your figures with putting things in their hands or getting their feet to stick or sticking something down. It's just this, and you break off a little piece and then you can put it in the palm of their hands or put it on their feet. I use this stuff all the time, and for $1.25, this is like a lifetime supply. This is a cool blue color. I also have in the past gotten white. I get the feeling that when you go to the dollar store that it is going to be a different color every time, so you might as well pick up one of every color, because you never know. On some of my photos, I can actually see the little white poster tack under the subject's feet, and if it was a different color, it might disguise itself a little better. So this is absolutely fantastic. You should definitely have this no matter what. If there's a dollar store near you, go buy this. Okay, moving on. Item number 2. These are still in the bag. This is kind of like an unboxing video. Floral wire. All right, let's check this out. You guys are going to be impressed with what you can do with this. For me, I figured that this would be sort of the best way to, for the money, to get some type of a, like to make barbed wire for army men. And it could be really, because this is wire, it could be kind of any scale. And basically this is essentially for working on making arrangements of like fake plants, fake flowers and such, but this is a cool wire if you're just looking for a prop where you need like a barbed wire or telephone cable or a guitar cable or something like that. But it can also be useful. You can also hang stuff with this. I'm not saying that this can take a large amount of weight. You can also use this if you're crafty. If you're crafty, you can use this with some cloth goods, specifically capes, if you want to get that kind of blowing in the wind effect, because this is wire that you can bend. This is basically like a spool of paper clip. This is really thin stuff, and it comes in kind of this nice dark green, which is really useful, but it's metal and you can kind of paint it any color you want. So this is also an A+. Okay. We're going to move on to more things that are cool. Check this out. These guys, these are $1.25 each. These are fake flowers, and they look pretty ridiculous. They had a variety. I picked a couple different ones, but how do you use this? Well, You take something like a building, right? Here's my classic Sesame Street. By the way, these things are in thrift stores all over the place, and you can get these things for pretty cheap, and they're worth getting because it gives you a little kind of cool brownstone. Even if you don't have characters that are to scale, you can always do forced perspective and put it in the background. So with this, now these little plants become sort of, they become big, huge, giant planters outside a doorway. You can put them outside of a bank or outside of any kind of a residential building or a coffee shop or something like that. It just adds some type of architectural difference in the landscape to sort of break it up and look like there is more things than there really are. So these are great props for action figures to just be giant giant planters outside of buildings. I would give these I would give them a B, but I would make sure it's a solid B, okay? It's definitely a solid B. Okay, we're gonna move on to the last couple items. This is a short episode. Again, this is for all the diorama, kit basher, toy photography people out there. Mesh tube is what we're on. What is a mesh tube? Now, they had a bunch of different colors of these. They had some like sparkle pink and weird sparkle blue and whatnot. It's really just kind of a ropey looking thing, right? And you can just use this as some type of visual noise. This could be anything like jungle vines. It could just be some sort of thing that's laying on the beach. It's just a bunch of brown sort of cloth tubing that's sort of bendy and stretchy. And, you know, you can do a lot of interesting things with tying it and wrapping it around stuff. It could be some type of rope that you use to tie down an action figure with if you're interrogating them. It has a lot of sort of good purposes. It gets a solid C+, almost a B, but you know, you only have so much use for this, and you can find things like this. I mean, obviously you could get rope and string and things like this, but to get this nice kind of weirdo mesh as just something that you could cut up for cheap and use somewhere, I think if you painted this, you could also probably use it in some dioramas as like, just like if you're doing science fiction, it could just be like mysterious, weird, like tubing inside a ship. Okay, last item. We started with the best and we saved the most mediocre for last. What do we have here, folks? It's just some cloth scraps, essentially, right? And it's just 3 different types. There's one with some shoes, and there's one with some astronauts, and really the reason why I got it, and those are great, but I don't really care about those, is it had a bit of this, what looks kind of like the Vans checkered shoes, checkerboard, and you never know, sometimes you just need some kind of checkered cloth for something. You might want to make kind of a race car flag, some kind of a rally sign. You might want to just cut a small strip and put it on inside the windshield, up near the roof, inside a car to make a rally car. There's a bunch of interesting things you could do with these sort of soft goods like this if you just need some bits of scraps, cloth scraps to juice up the scene, so to speak. And there's a couple different ones in here. You know, you can use these for, you know, like this could be inside like someone's bedroom. It could be, you could put this on the wall. It could be translated into some sort of a wall hanging. It could become wallpaper, that sort of thing. You can use these in a variety of interesting ways, but it's just nice to have some interesting fabrics laying around if you need them. And that is the big wrap-up of things that I found this week at the dollar store. I've already taken all the cool toys out of my Dollar Tree that is by the studio. You can go back to a couple of the past episodes where I talk about those. Specifically, the 1/6 stuff is cool. There is a chair that is perfect for making into somebody's throne, like a Conan, like a 1/12 Conan in this. It's going to be cool. Even though I don't have a Conan, I'm going to make a Conan throne. I'm going to show you guys how awesome it is. So that is it for this episode, and thanks everybody who made it all the way to the end. Catch you guys next one.